Jalen Thorne had always preferred machines to people. On the lonely edges of the Anthura Drift, where half-dead freighters and forgotten outposts floated like ghost towns, he made his living as an independent starship mechanic. Here, silence was currency, and solitude was his only companion. But on the night everything changed. Jalen wasn't alone. His scanner had picked up the distress signal just after midnight, a faint, pulsing cry for help echoing across the void. He hesitated. Distress calls out here were rarely genuine. Pirates loved using them as bait. Still, something about the signal intrigued him. The tone modulation wasn't human. It wasn't any species he recognized. Against every instinct screaming for caution, he followed it. Minutes later, Jalen's ship, the Rust Bucket Queen, drifted toward a stranded vessel, sleek, silver-white, and elegant, its curves almost organic. The hull shimmered like liquid moonlight. He'd never seen technology like it. Then the docking request came through. A moment later, 3 women stepped through the airlock. They were tall, graceful, and otherworldly, clearly humanoid, but with subtle differences. Luminous eyes, faint iridescent markings on their skin, and hair that flowed like strands of woven light. Their presence filled the cramped bay like a warm breeze. The one who appeared to be their leader inclined her head. "You answered our call," she said. Her voice was melodic, almost harmonized. "I am Lysara of the Elurian Triad. Our vessel has suffered a critical failure. Will you help us?" Jalen swallowed hard. Yeah, I can take a look." He wasn't sure where to rest his gaze. They were stunning, not just in a physical sense, but in a way that made his chest tighten with awe, as if he were in the presence of something ethereal. Lysara exchanged a brief, silent look with her companions, and Jalen got the sense they were all speaking to each other telepathically. "Come," she said. "We will show you the damage. A job unlike any other." The alien craft was a miracle of engineering. Every circuit, conduit, and energy relay seemed grown rather than built, a hybrid of technology and biology. The ship thrummed with life beneath his fingertips. A cracked power lattice had caused a cascade failure. Nothing Jalen had ever repaired worked remotely like it, but the logic was strangely intuitive. The systems responded to touch, adapting themselves to his tools almost playfully. "You learn quickly," murmured Kilira, one of the other women, as she observed him. "Most species cannot interface with our biotech." "Your ship is incredible," Jalen said honestly. Lysara stepped closer, her eyes glowing faintly. "Our vessel recognizes harmony of intent. You approach with respect. Therefore, it assists you." He chuckled. "Well, that's good. I don't often get complimented by a ship." They all smiled at that. 3 alien women with smiles that made time seem to slow. 4 hours, Jalen worked tirelessly. When he sweat, they cooled him with a gentle energy field. When he grew tired, they placed their hands near his temples, filling him with a soothing warmth that swept fatigue from his limbs. He didn't know what was happening, but he wasn't afraid. He felt trusted. By the time he sealed the final conduit, the vessel hummed back to life, glowing steady and strong. "It is done," Jalen said, stepping back. Lysara placed a hand lightly on his shoulder. "You have done more than repair our ship. You have shown us kindness when you had no obligation." Her touch radiated warmth through him, comforting but strangely powerful. Kilira and Saren moved to stand beside her. All 3 looked at him with an intensity he didn't understand. "You have earned a reward," Saren said. Jalen blinked nervously. "Reward? I don't need payment. Just happy to help." "No," Lysara said softly. "Not payment. A gift." The reward beyond imagination. For a moment, none of them moved. Then the interior lights shifted, bathing the chamber in soft, prismatic hues. The air seemed to vibrate with a gentle harmonic resonance. Lysara stepped forward until she was only inches away. "We Elurians sense the hearts of those who aid us," she said. "We feel truth, sincerity, and the quiet pain that follows you." Jalen stiffened. His heart thudded. "What pain?" Kalira spoke next, her voice tender. "You have lived too long in solitude, Jalen Thorne. Years without companionship. Without being understood." He swallowed. They saw through him as if he were transparent. Saren extended her hand. A glowing crystal sphere materialized, softly pulsing like a heartbeat made of light. "This is the luminary seed," she explained. "A fragment of our people's collective knowledge and memory. When bestowed, it chooses one destiny for the recipient, guiding them to the life they were meant to live." Jalen stared. I don't know if I should take something like that." "It is our tradition," Lysara said gently. "A sacred bond of gratitude. But it will only activate if your heart accepts it willingly." The crystal hovered toward him, stopping an inch from his chest. He felt a tug, not physical but emotional, a sense of meaning, connection, possibility. All his life he'd been drifting, patching up broken ships while feeling broken in ways no wrench could fix. Finally he whispered, "Yes." The crystal dissolved into a stream of shimmering light that flowed into his body. He gasped, eyes wide. Images flashed in his mind. Star systems he had never heard of, technologies beyond imagination, visions of futures where he played a part far greater than he had ever dreamed. When the light faded, he staggered, trembling. What did you do to me?" he asked, voice wavering. Kalira smiled. "We have unlocked your dormant potential," Saren added, "and connected you to us. Across any distance." Lysara stepped forward, placing her hand over his heart. "You are no longer alone." For the first time in years, Jalen felt something warm fill the hollow space inside him. Purpose. A new beginning. When the Elurian women prepared to leave, the repaired ship glowed brighter than before. Lysara stood before Jalen, her expression serene yet emotional. "We must return to our world," she said. "But this is not farewell." Jalen nodded, though a pang tightened his chest. "Will I ever see you again?" Kalira smiled. "The luminary seed will guide you. When you are ready, you will find us." The ship's ramp began to rise. Saren paused and called out, "Trust the visions. They are the map to your destiny." In a burst of radiant light, the alien vessel ascended and vanished into a shimmering warp corridor that rippled like water. Silence returned to the docking bay. But Jalen wasn't the same. He touched his chest where the crystal had entered. His mind still buzzed with unfamiliar knowledge. Coordinates, star charts, and glimpses of a vibrant world filled with luminous cities and beings of living light. Path awaited him. A destiny intertwined with theirs. The Rust Bucket Queen suddenly felt less like a prison and more like a beginning. Jalen settled into the pilot's chair, heart racing with renewed purpose. "All right," he whispered to himself, smiling for the first time in ages. "Let's see where this takes us." He powered up his engines, set a course toward the first coordinate glowing in his mind, and launched into the stars. No longer a wanderer, but a man chosen for something extraordinary. For the first time he wasn't drifting. He was being pulled toward a future brighter than he could have imagined.